So, I made a video on the worst Smash Bros Ultimate stages back in 2021, so naturally it wouldn't be complete without a video on the best stages to go along with it. This is a video that I had planned for a long time, but I never got around to actually finishing it. This list is based on how the stages look and how fun they are to play on, and I'll also note any interesting gameplay features or visual effects that they have to offer. So with all that out of the way, let's do this. Since Mario is Nintendo's main mascot, naturally he's gonna have the most stages out of any other franchise. Most of the Mario stages are really cool and fun to play on, and New Donk City Hall is no exception. The main thing about this stage is that a platform will take you gradually higher up the skyscraper until it drops back down to the bottom. As you go up the building, Pauline and her band will appear, and if you touch them, they'll start playing and adding to the music, which is a cool little nod to that one moon in Mario Odyssey. I remember seeing this game getting revealed back in 2018 and hoping that there would be a New Donk City stage that would play out similar to the Mario Sunshine stage, and luckily Nintendo gave us just that. It's really charming to see that Sakurai cares about fan service when it comes to Smash. If you're an avid Smash player, then you know that Sakurai is obviously a huge Fire Emblem fan, given that said franchise takes up at least a quarter of the roster. Obvious exaggeration out of the way, Castle Siege is a really cool stage that has you fighting on the towers of a castle from one of the Fire Emblem games. Since I don't really play Fire Emblem, I don't actually know what specific game this stage is from, so feel free to let me know in the comments. Over time, the layout changes as the battle goes on. First, you move to the throne room where there's platforms held up by these breakable statues, and finally, you then enter this deep underground cavern hovering over a pit of lava. This stage is really just a mashup of various different stages that each have their own distinctive layout, and really fit the theming of Fire Emblem really well. In my opinion, it's best to play on this stage with Fire Emblem characters, otherwise there's something quite funny about watching bright colourful cartoon characters fighting in a dark and gritty environment. You know, despite the fact that New Super Mario Bros. 2 is quite a mediocre game, the Golden Plains stage is quite the opposite. Since the main theme of New Super Mario Bros. 2 is coins, this stage is filled with them and it encourages you to collect as many as possible. The game even keeps a nice little coin counter near the damage percentage. Once you collect 100 coins, you turn gold, which increases the damage you deal while also making you harder to launch. You can also grab red coins and blue coins. Another thing about this stage is the layout. Occasionally, the camera will move to the left or right, offering a nice change to the battle. I really appreciate how smooth the stage scrolls. Other stages like Mushroomy Kingdom scroll in a way that makes it harder to fight because you're also trying to keep up with the screen, but on this stage it isn't an issue whatsoever. Overall, this stage is obviously meant for more casual players. Since I'm more competitive in Smash, that's why this stage is so low on the list. Although it's been a few years now, I still can't believe we actually got Minecraft Steve in Smash Bros, and like every other DLC character, he got his own stage to boot. Now, the biggest thing about this stage is that the biome changes every match. This also affects the type of blocks you see on the stage. The background features villagers who casually stroll around during the day, and then it gets dark and you start to see zombies and skeletons appear. I would also like to add that the backgrounds are actual screenshots of the Minecraft map, so it's actually possible to pinpoint where the stage takes place. Even though Minecraft and Smash Bros are two completely different types of games, this stage at least manages to be a lot more faithful to the source material than the Minecraft movie.
I am Steve.
Dear God. Now it's time for yet another travelling stage. This time it's from a series which I absolutely adore, Paper Mario. You start out on that windmill level from Sticker Star. Nothing much really happens here except for the giant fan that will appear and blow you towards the right of the stage. Next you move to the pirate ship from Thousand Year Door where a giant blooper will appear in the background. Be careful here because while you can swim in the sea on other stages, here you just fall right through. And finally, you get to Bowser's castle with floating platforms on either side. After a while, the Bowser head in the centre will rotate, creating an incline, making it easy to fall. At this point, the fight starts to get really intense because you have to fight while simultaneously watching the platforms. This stage would probably be a lot better if the majority of it wasn't based on Sticker Star, the more generic game in the series. The older games like Thousand Year Door have other really unique locales that would have made good Smash Bros stages. Like, imagine having the Glitz Pit or Rogue Port as stage layouts. I know exactly what you're thinking. Another travelling stage? Seriously? Why yes, ladies and gentlemen. Prism Tower involves you fighting as you travel around Lumio City, the world of Pokemon X and Y. Now, since this stage was originally on the 3DS, this stage doesn't have as many stops as others like it due to hardware limitations. But even then, this stage is incredible. You start at the base of the tower, which is obviously inspired by the Eiffel Tower, and then work your way up. You'll also see various Pokemon flying around, such as Magneton and Zapdos. I don't know why there aren't more Gen 6 Pokemon considering this stage is based on X and Y, but it's still a pretty cool feature. There isn't really much more to say other than the fact that the city looks great at night. The change in daylight really makes the stage stand out. Now, I've played Persona 5 before, and it's a game I quite enjoy, so this might be a bit biased, but Mementos is a really cool stage that has a lot of details going for it. The most interesting feature is that the colour scheme changes depending on the music playing. Blue for Persona 3, yellow for 4 and red for 5. Another thing to note is that this also affects Joker's victory theme. It can be quite hard to get kills on this stage too, since walls and ceilings will appear out of nowhere. This can make fights quite tense because you or other players could just keep on racking up damage for ages before someone gets a KO. The background is really cool too. It's obviously inspired by Japanese subways, and the colour schemes give it a really rebellious vibe. You can also see the Phantom Thieves cheer you on in the background, which is a really nice touch. Overall, if you're a fan of the Persona games, then this is a really fun stage. Now, this is a stage that I didn't casually play on until recently, but Skyloft is a glorious, underrated gem of a stage. You travel around the main setting of Skyward Sword, including various landmarks like the Goddess statue, this waterfall, and other really cool areas. I also really like how the camera sways all over the place. It kind of looks like one of those drone videos, and for a breathtaking stage like this, it really works. Since there are so many different parts of the stage, you have to play it quite a few times. In fact, I had to play it about 5 times over while making this list. Just playing this stage makes me want to play Skyward Sword because it just looks so damn good. This stage alone has its replay value, and that's what makes it so cool. The many perspectives and bright visuals make this stage a must play. If you watched my video on the worst stages, then you probably know that I'm not the biggest fan of large stages, but Temple is an exception to that. This stage has been in every Smash game since Melee, well, except the 3DS, but, you know, that's besides the point. This stage is split into various different layouts, all on one stage, but it's not annoyingly gigantic like the Great Cave Offensive or Palutena's Temple. If you're looking to have some fun, then Temple is a great stage for that. Even for competitive players like me, this stage is a blast to play on. Like Mementos, this is another stage where matches can get quite tense as it can take a while to get kills due to how large the stage is. That's what makes this stage so fun, because you never know what's going to happen. I'm always on the edge of my seat whenever I play on this stage, because I mostly play 1v1, and when you and your opponent are both at critical damage, things just get exhilarating. This is one of my all-time favourite stages in Smash history. However, there is another one that barely passes it. To be honest, I had a hard time picking between this stage and Temple, but Woohoo Island barely wins because your boy Brandon loves his travelling stages. Jokes aside, one of the best minigames in Wii Sports Resort was where you got to fly the plane around the island, and this stage feels like that and Smash Bros had a baby. It's awesome! This is another stage that you have to play multiple times to really get the feel of it, because the amount of pit stops is crazy. You fight on this bridge from the cycling minigame, a speedboat, and even the swordplay arena. Compared to other stages like this one is the best because you really get to explore every nook and cranny that the island has to offer. In fact, it makes every match feel like a new experience because you get to gradually see more of the stage, and that's why it's number 1. So there you have it everyone. Did you agree with my picks? Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and also leave a comment and tell me what your favourite Smash Ultimate stage is down below. Check out my Discord, Twitch, Twitter and Instagram for updates on videos. Goodbye everyone, and I'll see you all in the next video.